Picture the land we called home, the coconut groves, the warm lagoon, the reef teeming with tropical fish, the misty heights of the island, Hawaii ki nui, Hawaii ki roa, Hawaii ki pa mau mau. Why did our people leave the homeland? The story begins with an argument between two tupuna, Kupe and Muturangi. Kupe, angry that Muturangi's pet, Te Wheke, had been destroying the fishing nets and stealing his catch, decided to pursue the great creature across the vast Pacific. Kupe battled Te Wheke a Muturangi, the seven tides, and through this pursuit, he sought new land. On the waves of Tangaroa, within the currents of Hinemoana, our people were guided to a new home. A land bound with mountain ranges, rivers of fish and greenstone, and forests of birds. Navigating by the stars, by the tides, the birds, and the rising sun, the people saw a cloud, a white cloud, the land of the long white cloud. He ao, he Aotea, he Aotearoa. The story of Kupe and Te Wheke is a taonga tuku iho. It is a treasured story that has been passed down through generations for Māori to hold on to and to remember the strength of our tupuna. People who navigated across the largest ocean in the world, facing seas of adversity to provide us with a home for generations growing. Interwoven within this story are themes of perseverance and resilience. He moana puke puke e kingia te waka. A choppy sea can be navigated. Though we face difficulties, we can persevere. Through stories, through whakapapa, we preserve the names of the great navigators, Kupe, Toi, and the captains of our waka. My people once were navigators, once were voyagers. But it is not the navigator that is remembered today. Neither is it the voyager. It is the drunk, the dropout, and the distorted image of the warrior. Our stories capture the timeless wisdom of those who came before, their themes having everlasting relevance, which can help us navigate the complexities of our modern world. But when our stories and histories are hidden from us, what becomes of our people? The image of Māori has become tainted with negativity. The promising new land of Aotearoa has become one of broken relationships, misguided perceptions, and supposedly a lost people. Moana Jackson stated that Māori once were gardeners, once were poets, once were singers. But many only recognise once were warriors, a perception of Māori that has a deep and heavy whakapapa, which serves a colonial agenda. It is time to question the narratives about Māori we know and live by today. Once were warriors. This story begins with Jake the Muss, lazy, a hopeless father, but with one talent, violence. He rules the pub with his fists, terrorizes his whānau, and believes this gives him some kind of mana or power. Though his wife Beth reminds him that he has no mana, unfortunately, Jake the Muss continues to reflect an iconic Māori image that won't go away. An image which dates to Victorian times, when a man who never visited New Zealand or met a Māori person wrote, "The land is inhabited by a savage, bloody warrior race, where war and vengeance is the precious lifeblood of an ancestor, bequeathed from savage father to savage son." This suggests that these violent traits have been handed down, that it lives within our people. As recently as 2007, a now discredited scientific study proposed that Māori have a warrior gene. The researchers suggest that this is why Māori as a people are more aggressive, violent, more likely to partake in risky behaviour, and have higher rates of alcoholism, obesity, and smoking. As a society, we seem to assume that this talent for violence continues to live within Māori. But even worse, many young Māori have started to believe it. It is incredibly saddening to see our people internalise these concepts of abuse and criminality. But what many don't realise is that the notion of Māori as a warrior race is a colonial lie. It is a tool used to limit and control the potential of Māori. Blaming the harsh realities Māori face on the presence of a gene seemed to simplify the problem for many, rather than admitting that these problems are far more complex and are based on our history as a nation. The warrior gene completely ignores world history. No one believes the British have a warrior gene, although they conquered a quarter of the globe. No one believes the Scandinavians, the descendants of the Vikings, carry a warrior gene. A warrior gene would have made parihaka impossible. This story begins on the 5th of November, 1881. In Western Taranaki, 1,600 troops invaded the settlement of Parihaka, a symbol of peaceful resistance to the confiscation of Māori land. The night before, government soldiers wrote farewell letters, expecting to be greeted with battle. But instead, they were greeted with waiata and offers of food. Today, I reflect on my tupuna who were present at Parihaka, who were followers of the prophet Te Whiti o Rongomai, who practiced passive resistance. Throughout time, we have seen powerful examples of this kind of resistance. The occupation of Bastion Point, the 1975 land hikoi, the signing of Te Petihana Reo Māori. My people once were peacemakers, once were keepers, and we still are, we still can be. Aha ko whati te manga e takoto ana anō te kōhiwi. Although the branch is broken off, the trunk remains. Difficulties will not undermine an individual or group if the foundations are strong. The roots of Te Ao Māori run deep, as a culture enriched by oral tradition and storytelling. Embedded within our stories are themes of strength, love, and wisdom. But these aspects are often overshadowed by negative depictions of Māori. Ngāti Porou and Ngāti Kahungunu poet Arapera Ka Blanc wrote, "We are inheritors of interwoven dreams whose power-shimmering music ever echoes on the wind. We inherit and are gifted with generations of knowledge. My people once were many things: navigators, voyagers, gardeners, poets, singers, peacemakers, keepers. This same potential lives within rangatahi Māori, as the strength and wisdom of our people guide us today. Through using our voice, through sharing our stories, our ancestors live again." Kia whakatō muri te haere whakamua. I walk backwards into the future with my eyes fixed on the past. Our past will forever be intertwined with our present and future, and as a nation will continue to shape our identity. Today, Aotearoa is a multicultural society. Whether you are Māori, Pākehā, or Tauiwi, it is our responsibility as the leaders of tomorrow to reevaluate the narratives we are sharing, to reflect on our past in order to forge a better future for generations yet unborn. To end, a waiata. He aha te mea nui, te mea nui o tēnei ao, maku e ki atu, kia koe he tangata, he tangata. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.